Blinded by the light. What's up, sons? It's Blind Run with Son of a Tech once again, and welcome to yet another how-to video. Today we're going to be covering the RTX 3060 Revision 2 100% light hash rate unlock overclocks. And yes, I will be covering in a separate video a guide on how to utilize the curve optimizer within MSI Afterburner. So if you're interested in those details, make sure you hit the notification bell down below so you're notified when that goes live. Let's get into it right after a word from today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is myself. To support the channel, click the join button below the video and you will get access to our privately hosted Rocket Chat. Selecting the $1.99 option will get you access, and after that you need to head over to the membership tab, scroll down, and expand out your membership perks. Find the section for connecting on social media, and in that section there will be a secret registration URL to join Rocket Chat, where you can sign up to enjoy talking with other cryptocurrency enthusiasts and miners without spammers, scammers, or bots. Welcome back. So first things first, let's talk about this GPU. In particular, this will be revision 2, which is separate from, of course, the revision 1 3060. The only reason this was relevant prior to, of course, the 100% light hash rate unlock is that the revision 1 3060 could be unlocked to 100% of the hash rate if you utilized the developer driver 470.05 that was accidentally leaked by NVIDIA some time back. Now it's pretty much irrelevant thanks to all of the latest miners coming out with 100% light hash rate unlocks just in time for the merge of Ethereum coming in August. That being said, let's go ahead and look at the memory specifications for this particular GPU. Alrighty, so as always with Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, as well as pretty much any memory intensive algorithm, what we're really looking at is the memory. The RTX 3060 has 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 across a 192-bit bus, giving us a total bandwidth of 360 gigabytes per second. And that is really what is key here and sets this GPU kind of in a weird league of its own. We did talk about the RTX 3070 Ti being in a league of its own due to, of course, the GDDR6X memory implementation. This one's a little bit different because obviously you have the 3070 that does have GDDR6, but it has a bigger memory bus, which gives it some more bandwidth. This one in particular, though, the RTX 3060 has a little bit less bandwidth because it has a smaller memory bus. However, it does clock pretty high, and we do end up with some pretty impressive numbers, albeit you have to get in there and program the overclock. So what did we find, right? First of all, I like to start all of this off with just a clarification on the testing methodology. I utilize a kilowatt on a 120 volt circuit through a gold rated power supply, so efficiency can be better. Now that power supply is all within its own ecosystem, not powering anything but the GPU and the riser. Yes, we utilize a riser so that we can get the power and the closest for the power numbers off of it. There are things that you can utilize that will, of course, increase your efficiency, such as, but not limited to, a platinum rated power supply, as well as a 200 to 240 volt circuit. Both of those things will help the efficiency and get you closer to those software red numbers that we will also talk about today. The other thing here is I like to start off by overclocking the memory first, seeing what the max hash rate would be, and then go back and start underclocking the core. And then we'll get, of course, the voltage tuned in as well as bringing that core clock down. And that will usually provide the best results. Now, you can get much better results by locking in the core voltage. On Windows, this is easy with MSI Afterburner and the curve optimizer. However, on Hive OS, you will usually have to utilize some sort of switch within the mining arguments themselves because Hive itself doesn't have a voltage setting for NVIDIA GPUs. They do for AMD, just not for NVIDIA. So to be clear, that's pretty much all the caveats that we have and can get those out of the way. So first things first, what we ended up with on the memory was an overclock of plus 1500 megahertz, which resulted in a total speed of 8800 megahertz on the memory. This gave us about 50 megahash a second on Ethereum and ETC hash. So the power consumption, however, was much higher than we really wanted. So I got in and started obviously locking down the core voltage and bringing the core clock down. Below 1500 megahertz on the RTX 3060 Rev 2 will start impacting hash rate. So we left it at 1500 megahertz. And to maintain that core clock speed, we had to maintain essentially 818 millivolts on the core voltage. Now, both of those things added together resulted in dropping the power consumption in the software down to 120 watts. And at the wall, of course, through the gold rated power supply on a 120 volt circuit, and your mileage may vary, it was at 139 watts. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that interprets into, of course, what to mine. Keeping in mind, you should take these numbers and apply them to what to mine at the time of watching this video, because the results will vary wildly, especially with the difficulty bomb having gone off on Ethereum and the difficulty daily increasing artificially on Ethereum. Things are going to change drastically over the next few months. But if we take a look at what to mine, you can see we have ETH hash and ETH hash 4G, now known as basically ETC hash. And that is both at 49 megahash a second at 139 watts. Scrolling down at 10 cents a kilowatt hour, which you can come in here and adjust yourself as well for your power cost. What we see is a revenue on Ethereum of $1.17 with a profit of 83 cents after 10 cents a kilowatt hour. On Ethereum Classic, it's not good at all. At this point, it's at 70 cents revenue with 36 cents a day after 10 cents a kilowatt hour power. Now, what this translates into is going to basically be a pretty hefty ROI, and that's based on currently the Amazon pricing. Cheapest I can see on here is the GIGABYTE model, which is a 3-fan model at $440 US. And if we plug that in to a calculator and calculate the ROI out, essentially what you are looking at is on Ethereum a 530-day ROI. But keep in mind, once again, the problem we have here is the merge and the threat of that happening in August. So what are you looking at if Ethereum Classic doesn't move at all, which is highly unlikely because basically two things are going to happen. We'll talk about those. But if it didn't move at all from today, your ROI would be 1,222 days, which is pretty intense. Now, we don't know what's going to happen once the merge happens on Ethereum. We don't know how much hash rate's going to move to different algorithms. We don't know if there's going to be price discovery on Ethereum Classic or Ergo or Flux. We're just going to have to wait and see. I'll be covering it on this channel, so make sure that you have the notification bell on so that you're notified when I do talk about it. But like I said, those two factors, basically price discovery and how much hash rate moves and to which algorithms and coins they move, is going to heavily impact your ROI times. That being said, because once we get to purchasing, once again, this isn't going to be financial advice, but the thoughts that you want to have around this. Most of the time, when things are the riskiest are when they pay off the most. I'm not saying that you should go buy this card in particular. I'm just saying that is basically the philosophy that a lot of people follow. So when the markets are down, you buy one and accumulate whatever it is your investment's going to be during that downtime, in hopes, of course, that in the future it will go up. Let's go ahead and end the video. Make sure you hit the like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you got all the information you needed out of it, and we will see you guys next Tuesday. If you enjoyed this content, be sure to hit the subscribe button for more. or check out this playlist for more crypto content related topics.